Alright. Fuck it, we're doing it live. YouTube! It's the YouTube! What's up, YouTube? It's here's Mike. Today we are here with a Gears 5 new Operation 5 review. PvE changes. Shit's fucking crazy. This shit is awesome. So 17th November. In the rank patch notes, they'll be like, thanks for the... Hey. They are going to use my ranked notes because they already used some stuff for the PvP or PvE changes. So, new changes, classes debunked. Just kidding. No, classes separated. We're not going to go over these because they're really not that important, but they are fucking awesome. We can now use any character with any class. We could have 5 Carmines, and I don't know where it's at, somewhere up here, but we can also use as many classes of the same title, which for Escape I think is going to be fucking sweet. Yes, so new passives. This is going to be interesting. They're actually bringing character skins. I wish you can zoom in on this. Oh, there we go. Actually bringing fucking weapon skins back to Escape and Horde. Once you hit level 20, you'll actually get them, which is going to be sweet. I don't know what these look like. They look like the tribal skins, honestly, from Operation 1. But hopefully, I don't know if they release this in a new trailer today or not. But hopefully these get like a big picture. I don't know why I'm trying to look forward. Like I'm going to be able to tell the difference. Oh my god, what did I just do? Yeah, it looks like a Venom, actually. But the big changes, boys. The big changes. I think Scorcher's going to be a multiplayer gun as well. There's no way that they're going to make a PvE gun and not a PvP gun. But big changes are happening, and a lot of these changes are good. Some of them are nerfs, but a lot of people are going to get a really good buff. A lot of different classes, a lot of different ways to do PvE content, I think. So for Horde, don't really care for Horde. Well, don't really play Horde, don't really give a shit what they have to do for it. But Escape, with Kate's exiting cloak doing 10 times the damage, they need to really release what a ballistic weapon is. There's really no easy way in Gears to determine what the ballistic weapons are. At least I don't know what they are, but I'm also an idiot. But the 5-meter distance requirement to the infiltration laceration card, that's going to be different. I don't even know what her card is for that. Let's look. They're adding a distance for this? Shotgun damage causes enemies to bleed for 70% of damage dealt. So now we have to be 5. I wonder if it's going to be within 5 meters. If that's the case, that's going to be a huge nerf to her, actually, in Escape. But if a shotgun counts as a ballistic weapon, that actually might even out. Changes behavior to this. Behavior to her Infiltration Reaper card. Executing enemies grants stim. I think that's a good change, actually. Even in Horde, I think that's a good change. Having stim on shotgun kills instead of executions. I know her her legendary cards is executions extend it, but in Escape you're not really doing that. You're mainly doing shotgun kills. I feel like in Horde that's the same way. Increase the ultimate duration gain. Oh, well, this is okay. Her ultimate card's staying the same then. We don't really play as Kate, so we don't know much about her. God damn it, Franny. Change behavior to the Infiltrator's chain card from kills during ultimate extends ultimate to executions during ultimate. Oh, yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Foz actually gets like a buff. Jesus Christ. A buff and a nerf. Because now instead of getting the ammo drop, which really doesn't matter, you can now actually penetrate through enemies, which is actually pretty sweet. The biggest thing is I wonder if this is going to affect with, and they might have talked about this during the live stream today. The Sentinels or Guardians shields. I wonder if you're going to be able to just shoot straight through that. Because if that's the case, amazing buff. Nerf to ambush from 140% to 100. I don't really think that's going to matter a lot unless you're running. I think this is mainly a bigger nerf to horde. Because in escape, enemies already don't have a lot of health because you already are strapped for ammo. So they don't have the same health. At least I don't think they had the same health as horde. So I don't really think we're going to notice that much in escape with this. But this right here is huge. I think, at least. If he can hit 2 enemies at once, it's going to be fucking crazy. Oh, my boy Mac. Mac, well, I guess I should say his anchor class. I should not call these by their names anymore, but by their actual class. Huge buff. Huge buff. Harness energy, which gives 6 stim by the hit barrier to the entire team. If under 100% health, gains 6 HP instead. This is actually going to be really interesting. Kind of like a team medic, almost. He's almost like the COG soldier gear in this one. And then added a bullet chain, which increases damage 50% per headshot, kills up to 200%. A lot of these characters are getting these 15-second buffs. I think this is going to be really interesting. Because later in here, they say that they're increasing the spawn rate of some enemies. So I wonder if that's going to take effect in Escape. If not, this is still a huge buff to him in Horde, I would assume. Especially being able to get up to 200%. Fucking crazy. Increase the bleeding damage, bloody shot from 65 to 80%. Huge increase. Increase damage multiplier of the adrenaline junkie from 65 to 80%. Huge increase. Change cooldown on ammo perk to ammo regen perk. That's a horde thing. And then change passive from taking damage to anyone who fires through the barrier. Deals extra 50% damage. This is going to be huge, I think. I think there's going to be some crazy builds in Escape, even in Horde, that will utilize this, especially if you put the duration card on it or the barrier extended card. I wonder if it will work with like JD's class with the Lancer GL and whatnot, if it increases those or just the bullets that go through. But 50% damage. So if you do 1500 and you do 50%, you're now doing over 2000 damage, which is a huge difference, especially if it's multiple clusters hitting. So Mac is actually might be utilized again in a lot of Horde runs with this change, with all these changes actually. Keegan, I think, is actually going to be pretty freaking sweet. The marking of him is going to be very interesting. So they added Discipline, which increases damage by 6% each hit with ballistics up to 100%. I'm assuming this is going to have the same time period of the 15 seconds or whatnot. Just like how Mac is, Lonnie has the same kind of thing. I don't think this is just going to be a straight 100% damage boost. Cooperation, 30% additional damage to teammates attack to your marked target. This card is going to be fucking crazy. Especially if you put the automatic tagging on. Everybody just does an instant flat 30% more damage to them. I feel like this card will be nerfed within a time frame, because imagine doing this with a Mac barrier. I'm pretty sure Lonnie has a bleed card where if they're bleeding, you do more damage. You know, you stack all these things on, man, you're going to be doing 100% more damage after a while. It's going to be freaking insane. And level 6, unless this is an epic card, people with coins, like how many coins do I have? 44,000. People are going to be able to buy this thing max level really quick. But unless they change this, It's either a typo or they're trying to tell us something later on down here, unless it was a horde thing. But we'll get back to that. And then Shredder getting another buff to 30%. I think the 25% is really, really low. It doesn't really work well anymore. It's almost kind of useless. But I think the 30 will be a good cap off. With that, having that 5% damage is going to help. You can see everything being super OP. I mean, there's going to be some OP stuff with these builds, but I think that's going to mainly affect Horde more than Escape, because Escape is going to be very situational with how we're going to be able to combine these, because we're not going to have a fabricator to buy guns like how they can in Horde. You know, any character can buy any gun now out of the fabricator. So I feel like things are going to be really, really OP for Escape, but it also depends on what map we're playing. This is the Horde thing, don't really care. Change passive from killing your marked targets, recharges your ultimate for 5 seconds to anyone who kills it. This is also a huge, 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 huge buff. Not only do you now do more damage to tagged enemies, but your ultimate recharges for 5 seconds for every kill for anyone on the team. Big change, which is going to be helpful for a lot of people. For if you pick the Foz class, you pick, Kate's class, anyone's class, really. You know, that's a huge buff for her. And then increased seconds of ultimate recharge gained from the recharge bounty from 23 to 25. What the hell is the recharge bounty? Let's look at that. Keegan. Killing marked targets, reduce ultimate cooldown by 20 seconds. Oh, they're changing that to... Oh, that's actually really good. So that's even a more buff. You add that on here, now you get 30 seconds. It's insane. Some people's cards only take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to recharge, man. You're going to be blasting ultimates just sometimes in these escape runs. It's going to be crazy. Baird, kind of useless for Escape. They mainly changed him for Horde. Don't really play it, so I don't really know how that's going to be. Lonnie. Our girl Lonnie, man. Oh my gosh, Blade Master is going to be such a fun class, I think, to play as now. Just because of these buffs. So you get Blade Dancer. Increased melee damage by 50% per melee or bleed kill, up to 200% for 15 seconds. Huge. Like I said, all 3 characters, I think, get this. I think it was a typo for Keegan. I think this was supposed to be on his. Energy Surge. We're not going to be seeing that in Escape unless they put in an energy tap, which I don't get why they would. Brutal Claw. This was leaked, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago or something like that on Reddit. I don't really think... I think this is going to be huge, but I don't really think it's going to be like crazy. Added 30% melee resistance to the Blade Master passive. That's going to be pretty cool. Juvies won't down you in half a second anymore. And then increased bleeding melee damage perk from 100 to 150. Huge. 50% more damage right fucking there. That is going to be fucking crazy. But this is where I was saying the thing. I think this is a Horde. I don't think this is an Escape thing, because it says level 10. So I think this is not even in Escape, but it would be nice to see her melee. She has a melee card on here for Brawler to be increased to 150. I think that would be fucking awesome, especially with everything that's going on. You're already going in on the close kill and Master. Reward us for getting that close, because it's an instant kill usually, or instant down on the melee with anything on Master. So I think this would be even a good buff for Escape, but it looks like we're not going to get it. This is already big enough right here. Clayton. I didn't really read Clayton's, so they're reducing... Oh, it looks like he's getting a little bit of a nerf. The Mulcher Mastery, which I think is fine. You already get a shit ton of ammo in that anyways. And then to reduce the ultimate cooldown multiplier per hit on his heavy charger from 0.0017 to 0.0014. I think those are fine. You can get his ultimate super quick, especially with Keegan's buffs now as well. This is going to be very minimal in Escape. Cole, our boy Cole, our brawler, is getting a nerf, a big nerf actually. I think it's needed. I think it was really needed with how much defense this man got. I know on one match in Master on Escape, I was running around in the poison, not even getting damaged. Like, I was in this poison for like 3 minutes, and my bar was barely red. That's just how much resistance I had on it. It was crazy. So I think this is needed. This Cole's class is going to be a Scorcher beast, I think. Because you have Scorcher Mastery, which increases your damage on it from 70%. Added the car fuel tanks, which you can increase your ammo in it. Reduce melee damage resistance on the Thrashball Pro from 70 to 60. That's needed. Reduce damage from inner fire. This is the biggest one, I think. Inner fire is super OP. I think this 35 is more than enough. This 52 was ridiculous because you can tell the difference when you didn't have inner fire on compared to when you had it on. I think you could survive almost like 3 melee hits on master difficulty, which is insane. With 35, I think you'll still be able to survive 3 from a drone, maybe a few more from a juvie, but you're not going to be able to survive much more. And it's going to be insane, but it's going to be good, I think, because it's almost too easy. I mean, you can go online, you can see all those single solo playthroughs with Cole, and it's mainly this card is a huge, crutch for it. Decrease damage resistance of damage dash from 43 to 40. That's fine. But then we get a little bit of a boost. Increase burning damage from the Pyromaniac card from 60 to 100. This is where this card is going to come into effect. Because you are just going to do a shit ton of damage because you're going to burn them with the Scorcher. You're going to do more damage having them burned. You can put the burn active reload on and get the triple burn on there. And then this is just a horde thing, which will be fine. Lizzie, I think this is going to be cool, putting a Scorcher onto the Silverback. It'll be interesting to see how well it actually goes. It depends on how much fuel's in the damn thing, because if it runs out really quick, it's really not going to be useful. So it'll be interesting to see what that's going to look like. And then increase the damage of the Enforcer Expert from 60 to 70, which is good. And then just renamed a card because it's not going to be Lizzie anymore. Jackbot, not even going to go over. Don't really care. Because, again, that's Jack. That's nothing to do with Escape. Dell, I think mainly these were Horde as well, but we can go over them. So we got Bloody Shrapnel, which causes the trackers to deal 100% bleed damage, which is going to be interesting. He's not really used in Escape, so you're really not going to see it. Personal Defense, which increases damage 6% per hit with the Enforcer up to 100. I think these are going to have that time limit. I don't see these just... You get up to 100% and you're having 100% damage increase forever for the whole match. That seems kind of OP. And then added these perks. Then increase the damage of the custom robotics card from 30 to 60. What's the custom robotics? Where's he at? 5%. Oh, okay. So this is just the overall card for it. So that's going to be good for him. It'd be a nice little... how the hell do I get my opera thing back up? Be a nice little boost in damage. Our boy JD. He got a nerf. The man just can't catch a break. He's just getting nerfed left and right. So first, is actually a pretty interesting one. I wonder if this will kind of negate the nerf, but this is what testing is going to do or had to be done. So bullet boost, which gives 50% extra ballistic damage per explosive or bleed kill up to 200% for 15 seconds. The reason why I say that is because of down here, but we'll get that in a second. So this is the same thing as Keegan. His bleed damage is now going from 25 to 30% with explosives. Change the passive to mark up to 5 targets and marks last twice as long. This is going to be interesting because I wonder if this will work with Keegan. Let's re-look at the wording for it. Oh, no, never mind. This is your mark targets. This would be interesting if you had Keegan and it was just marked target. So anyone who kills a marked target recharges their ultimate. That's where JD and Keegan, I think, would be able to play along really cool. Basically, Soldier from Gears 4. Basically, that's what he's turned. He's basically a second Keegan. Because Keegan already has this. So, changed behavior of explosive launcher to carry 100% extra explosive launcher area to carry 8 additional grenades. This is already a card Keegan has. Like, he is literally just turning into a second Keegan class. Because what Keegan could hold up to 6 maxed out. So he's going to be able to hold a little bit more. 2 more grenades. And then they're renaming the card to Grenade Satchel, Grenade Pouch. Kind of a lazy, I think, design, to be honest. And then added the card where you can plant 6 more traps. I don't really understand why they did this. I thought this was a lot better and more unique because no one else has this card. This is literally just a oh, I gotta sneeze. Ah, shit. This is just a buffed grenade pouch from Keegan. So I don't really get it, but whatever. I think it was just because this was so good with like the salvo and his GL, where you can just have so many grenades or salvo shots. It was basically easy mode at that point, no matter what difficulty you were playing on with him. So I mean I get it, but I don't like it at the end of the day. But I'm thinking if this damage boost for ballistic damage also carries over to grenades, I think it will make up for this. But I don't know if that damage boost is going to carry over to that, you know. But I'm assuming it will because you have to get kills with explosions or bleed, you know. But we'll find out on release in, what is today's date? The 12th. So it's on Tuesday. So yeah, in 5 days we'll figure it out. Marcus increases ultimate duration from 10 to 20 seconds. Awesome. Change behavior to rifle feedback from rifle hits. Increase living legend time to ultimate duration increased by 100%. Wait. Aren't these essentially the same thing? Like, to say you're just doubling the time to then just changing the time of rifle hits, increase it to just it doubles. This is the same thing. This is saying there's no difference with this, unless this is saying this is going to be 40 seconds. But these two notes then essentially are the same exact notes. That's kind of dumb, right? Or am I thinking of this wrong? What was the card called again? Change the behavior of rifle feedback. Where is rifle? Well, 40 seconds isn't as good as unlimited. That is very true. Okay. I misread this at first. I didn't realize this was a card. So if they say they're changing it, but I wonder if this is at level 1 then. because they don't have a level 6 like how this has it. So I wonder if this is the level 1 base and what the level 6 base will be, which will be interesting because if the level 6 takes it up to, let's say, 600%, or if it's 50% each time, so it's what, 150 for 2, 200 for 3, 250 for 4, 300 for 5, 350 for 6. So that would be 20 seconds. That's like almost a whole freaking minute. Over a minute, if I can do math correctly in my head. That's still pretty damn good, and you don't have to worry about having an assault rifle. Now you can just carry whatever gun you want. You know, you don't have to carry the claw or the lancer, or hope to God that you can find one on the ground, because some maps don't have them. So I guess there's a pro and con with this, depending on the situation on hand. But it is different. It is nice having that unlimited when there's just a rush of enemies coming at you. Paddock, replace ultimate cooldown perk with precision rifle damage perk. Paddock is so lackluster. They put this man out. He looked so freaking good when he came out originally, and he just fucking sucks. Like, every situation that you put him in Escape at least, he's terrible. He's useless. It is pointless to play as Paddock. This man needs like a whole rework or buff system. Like, to have this isn't going to do anything for him. Cat just sucks. There's no point of even going over her. Emil, yeah, they're just changing it so it's not a Halo term. And this is what I thought was interesting. Grace. They're making Grace her own, right? Sarah Connor isn't in here. So what's Sarah Connor's going to be? Because she has one too. Is she up here in the top though? Oh yeah, Slugger. So they didn't give her anything, but they put Grace in here. But I wonder if you didn't own Grace before, if we can now play as Grace. Because Grace had some really good setups in the Escape map. Forgot what one it was called off the top of my head. But you had a lot of melee weapons. And like you had to verse like a warden and a few other people, and you started out with pipes and whatnot. Grace was amazing in that one because of the stun effect with that. And if you had like a grenade or something like that, it had bleed damage or some crazy, like one of her cards is. I can't even look at it because I don't even have her. But this is going to be interesting to have her, if this automatically unlocks for everybody, if you don't own her. So that's the buffs, nerfs, some changes to their class, some added cards. I think they said like 16 added cards, but I don't think all the added cards were in here. So I'm thinking some of them are going to be secret, maybe. Let's see here. Where did they have the cards at? It was in here somewhere. Thought it was 16 though. But I think there's only like 8 of them in this patch notes right now. Unless I can't count, which is most likely. But what I think is going to be cool, trying to zoom back out, is this right here. I don't really care about these mutators for the Horde stuff. And also they need to put a space right here. But what I think, and let's check this out real quick before I say anything. They have what they call a daily hive. So we don't have daily hives right now. We have the weekly and past. But in Escape, we're giving you 2 options. Daily Hive, which grants special rewards for players who beat previous hives at different difficulties. So are they just renaming past? Or are they going to take this out and have a daily one? Or swap it around so it's daily and then weekly? That's what I thought was interesting. And maybe they talked about this today during the live stream, because I think they talked about some of these changes. But if there's a daily rotation of old hives with new modifiers, it's going to be freaking awesome. So much content is going to be had. And then another one is the featured hive. They say 7 days, not 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So are they hinting that we're now going to get a new hive every week? Because if that's the case, that's even going to be better. No new hives? What do you mean? The featured hive. Featured hives are new hives. That's what this is. This is the featured right here. The weekly. I think that means we're going to get a new one every week now. But I could be wrong. I most likely am. We gave TC a lot of credit in the past, and they always are just a little bit short on some things. And I think this is going to be one of them. I think it's supposed to change every 7 days because it's weekly. But they can have it run for multiple weeks at a time. So it's going to be interesting, unless they did say today that there's no new hives. But keep on reading. All new PvE channels will be played in private. Rewards include class XP coins, skill cards, or legendary skill cards. Also, players can earn more skill cards just by playing the daily and featured up to a maximum limit. What? Oh, no, they already had that. Both the daily and featured hives will pull from No! Oh, you're right. I can't read. Well, I didn't read that. I just actually skipped over it because I went over to these other patch notes afterwards when I read it earlier. Going forward, we aren't adding any new hives. This was a very tough call for us, but we know how important any more traditional 5v5 maps are. And now the team can laser focus. Okay. You know what? We'll go back to what we said at the TACCOM then. TC, see, they already delivered my promise of not delivering enough. You see this right here? This has been in beta for over a year. We need to fucking use it. We could have new maps all the fucking time with this. Make it more functional. Make it better. You don't even have to do anything anymore. Like, everyone is making maps. Make them actually worthwhile now. And then you can focus on this bullshit. Well, not really bullshit, because I really like more maps. But we'll go cry our river later. Why would you point that out to me, Skillet, you bastard? General, yep, we already talked about this. They're removed the restrictions on duplicates. They separated the players or the classes from the character. Doubled base damage of burning Wait. Doubled the base damage of burning damage over time. I wonder what caused them to do this. Because this is an interesting thing to do. Does this mean, like, just for flame grenades? Or when it says burning, it has to be because of the Scorcher then. It's interesting. Burning damage over time now applies full damage immediately instead of requiring 5 stacks to achieve full damage. Okay, I don't know what this means. I honestly don't know. I don't use fucking burning, so I don't really... I don't know. Horde, yep. This right here, huge. This is big. 400 damage reduction in their shields is going to be huge. Because that is going to go down a quarter of a second faster, essentially, if you think about it. They have a quarter of a health taken off. Which in Escape, when you don't have that much longer to live, is going to be big. Adjusted the matrix incoming freeze damage multiplier from 0.2 to 0.4. I wonder if this is going to affect Foz's class card of if you can hit him in his or his weak spot, if he freezes faster now, or if because that already has a time frame on it, it's not going to affect it all. This is just based on the what the hell is that? The ice cannon, whatever the hell that thing's called. And then slight increased number of sires, Mulcher Scions, and Drop Shot Scions. I think this is mainly Horde. I don't think this is going to affect Escape. What about Iron Man? Well, 1 second. Fabricator. I think this is really interesting in Horde. We'll get to Iron Man in a second, though. You can now have the Fabricator get destroyed. I think this is actually a cool thing. I think this is going to be really interesting with how, because you're not going to make it be able to block areas off now, because you have to put 4,000 power into it. You're going to want to hide it a little bit better. I think this is going to be really cool. And then fix an issue with ending cinematic freezing and then skipping. I never experienced that issue, so I'm not 100% sure. So you ask about Iron Man. Well, up here, see if we can find it. They said something about modifiers. Well, here's the modifiers. I don't know what any of these mean, unless these are what the class skill icons are. But they look pretty fucking sweet. But they say something about modifiers, I'm pretty sure I read up here. Is it down here? Maybe it was in something else that I read modifiers in. But I thought they said they were removing it. That Iron Man wasn't going to be on the list anymore. And that they were going to look into doing that in Op 4, but because it got fucked up, they're moving it to Op 5. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't in this one. Maybe it was something on Reddit that I was reading. This is interesting. We're going to be able to play as the DB character. And Jin. And one thing that actually caught my eye was this. Any progress made with previously corresponding characters will be applied to the relevant classes. Oh, never mind. I took that as for the level 20 thing. Like after all my XP with Cole, it would just automatically be applied. And then it looks like tomorrow we're going to see something with the re-ups. So they only promised that since, what, Operation 1 or 2. So we're finally going to get new re-up rewards, which is going to be interesting. I thought I read something with the modifiers, though. Maybe not. Oh, we're also even adding more mutators. So I wonder with... This is what I was reading it at. Not at the top. It was literally right above where we were just fucking at. I wonder what the list of these are going to be. Because I think this is where Iron Man's going to be removed. I also hope they remove more lethal and more health. I think they're just very lazy mutators. And they could do something more in those spots to make it more engaging and fun, I think, or harder than just more health and more lethal for enemies. So yeah, like how they have here, fun, helpful, challenging mutators that they can put in. I don't think we'll see any of these. It would be interesting to see zero gravity gore, but it's not going to really change how the play style is. Dude, Iron Man sucks ass. Iron Man could just... It's a terrible perk. It was good when it first came out. Well, they thought it was good. But because they can't fix it to not take you to lobby, it's terrible. If they had it where if you die, it just restarted you in the pod again, it'd be fine. But the fact that you have to go through the end screen, loading back to the main menu, going through the main menu load screen, and then sit there at the actual load screen, like after you get taken by the carry or the snatcher, it's just too much time. And it's stupid. It just adds on unnecessary minutes where they can just do what Destiny did with like Nightfalls, and you die, you just restart from the beginning of the Nightfall. You know, it's all they needed to do. I don't know why they even made Iron Man to take you back to lobby, because no one likes that. No one likes to add unnecessary time to their day if they don't have to, especially when you only have like 2 to 3 hours to play each night. Why do you want to waste 45 minutes of it in loading screens because the game put that as a modifier, essentially? It's not making anything more difficult. It's just adding time that doesn't need to be added. But yeah, that's it. So that's the patch notes for here. If you guys, I wonder if they're going to take out Kick the Leech. Well, I think only you and another handful of people will be disappointed in that one. But we'll end the YouTube video here. If you guys like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, follow over on Twitch, twitch.com, no, .com, twitch.tv/here's_Mike, and we'll see you guys later.